Hello and welcome to Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut. We've got a big CACC doubleheader for you as the Post Eagles take on Wilmington University from Delaware. I'm Robbie Johnson and I'm your play-by-play commentator for all of today's action. Game 1 will be 9 innings of play, followed by another game of 7 innings. And in this one, Post is 14-9 on the year, 10-0 in conference play. It's their best start in program history. And for Wilmington, Delaware, 8-4 on the 2025 campaign in conference, 16-11 overall. Here is Wilmington's starting lineup. And we'll start with Brandon Grigo, who's in right field, number 7 for Wilmington. Batting second in center field is Zach Frame. Batting third at second base is Tyler Perrung. Batting cleanup at first base is Chase Fleming. Batting fifth at third base is Jose Armando Diaz. Batting sixth in left field is Cam Trago. Batting seventh at short is Garrett Quinn. Batting eighth behind home plate is Nick Classy. And batting ninth on the pitcher's mound is Scott Borgman. So we're just about ready to go. A righty on lefty matchup to start. It's Matt Seaman on the hill for Post in this one. Seaman looks ready to go, working from the stretch. So is Grigo. Let's do it on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. First pitch swinging is Grigo. He pops it up third base side. Ranging over is Rivera, and he makes the catch. One pitch, one out. So a quick out for the Eagles. Let's take a look at their defensive alignment. From left to right, it's Velasco, Rodriguez, and Valera. From third to first, it's Rivera, Alfala, Vega, and Roberge. Seaman dealing to Classy in game 1 of this matchup. Another first pitch hack popped up third base side again. Rivera runs out of room this time. Another foul ball, so the count's 0-2. Grigo, 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. Having a great season, 382 on the year. Sophomore building off an incredible freshman campaign. Seaman has the sign. 0-2 count. And the pitch. Line drive, one hop over to short. Alfala fields. The low throw is dug out. Over there by Roberge for out number 2. So Seaman attacking the zone early, and that'll bring up Tyler Perrung. Zach Frame recently retired. Another first pitch hack for Perrung. That one popped up. Classy runs out of room. The 0-1 delivery. That one smacked down the right field line, giving chase is Valera, and that's going to one-hop up against the wall. Perrung going for 2, and he gets there standing up. 2-out double for Tyler Perrung, showing the pop there to the opposite field. So a 2-out, 2-bagger that passes the baton to Chase Fleming. Fleming playing first base today in game 1. That pitch behind him. 1-0. So an F5 is 6-3, put out and then a double to start in this one. Post taking on Wilmington if you're just joining us. Seaman steps off the mound. Fleming hitting .273 on the year, no home runs, 9 RBIs. The 1-0 lined into center. Right there is Rodriguez, and he makes the catch. That ends the inning. Wilmington strands a runner in scoring position. They get an extra base hit. Can't capitalize on it. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Post will take their first hacks when we come back. We all good? Or? Yeah. All right, cool. Back here in the bottom of the first, scoreless here at Municipal Stadium. Post about to get their first licks, and Jesse Alfalo will lead things off for the Eagles. Alfalo playing shortstop today, and he'll face off against Scott Borgman. Umpire briefly calling time before we have the first pitch here in the bottom of the first. Alfalo hitting .397 this year. No home runs, 10 RBIs. That one cranked out to right center field. That's going to drop, and that's going to one-hop up against the wall. Alfalo digging for 2. He's going to go for 3. Here's the throw. Here's the play, and he slides in safe. Alfalo wasting no time with a leadoff 3-bagger. Both teams coming out swinging to start. A lot of barreled baseballs, and Rene Vega will try and keep the trend going. Vega playing second base today. Fastball flutters up and away, 1-0. Vega hitting .375, no home runs, 9 RBIs. Leaves that one low and away, 2-0. That one lined into right center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Post on the board first. It's an RBI single for Rene Vega. So a 1-0 lead. 2 hits to start this afternoon here for the Eagles. RBI number 10 this year. That's for Rene Vega. And Damaris Rodriguez steps up to the plate. Curveball floats right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Jose Armando Diaz playing very far from the third base bag, also right in on the grass, a very interesting position to play there to start. Fastball just off the outside corner, 1-1. As we know, Rodriguez loves to spray the ball all over the field. Elects to take another curveball, so the count's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 offering. Slapped foul on the ground down the third base line. Rodriguez leads this team in average .425 on the year with a homer and 18 RBIs. Just whispers off the outside corner, so the count's even at 2s. Post having one of its best offensive years to date. .328 team average. You're seeing it so far. Great take on a 2-2 curveball, so the count runs full. Now Rodriguez choking up on the bat just a bit. The payoff pitch, runner going. Rodriguez lifts that in the air, foul down the left field line. Most of Connecticut getting a lot of rain last night. The field looking perfect for 2 games of baseball. Borgman looks over to first once again. Very worried about Vega over there. Always a threat to steal a bag. Payoff pitch. Rodriguez stays alive. Seems to be a little upset with himself. Possibly thinking that was ball 4, but in that situation, you can't take a chance. The payoff pitch. Curveball just above the letters, ball 4. Great at bat for Rodriguez. Now runners on first and second with nobody out. So after 2 quick hits and a run for Post, Rodriguez works the count and gets a walk. Next up, Justin Rivera. Corners in, curveball, spins outside, 1-0. Rivera, a .378 hitter with 2 long balls and 20 RBIs. Corners in for Wilmington. Big hack fouls it back. 1-1. The 1-1. Line drive up the middle. It's a base hit. A little humpback line drive. Everybody moves station to station. A bobble out in center by Frame. No harm done, so the bases are juiced, and Post continues their hot start. Isaiah Velasco now up for the Eagles. And a little pitching conference will start right now here for Wilmington. Borgman, he has a 1.85 ERA this year. So he's been really dealing an uncharacteristic start to today's action. He'll try and stop the bleeding here. Velasco will try and keep the train moving. Velasco hitting .328 on the year with a homer and 13 RBIs. Bases juiced if you're just joining us. Robbie Johnson here with the play-by-play commentary. 1-0 Post. Curveball buckles the knees. It's in there for a strike 0-1. The 0-1. Borgman's 1-1. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. A golden opportunity to put up a crooked number. 1-2 count on Velasco. Outside 2-2. The break-even delivery. Yanked foul on the ground. Another 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Borgman, and that's the first out he's recorded this afternoon. So next up is Hayden Roberge hitting .337 on the year. No home runs, 13 RBIs. Trying to do damage on that pitch. Fouls it back, so it's 0-1. The 0-1. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Curveball just outside, 1-2. Both teams coming off of losses and trying to right the ship here today. There's a line drive over the second baseman into the right center for a base hit. 2 runs will come in to score. A clutch 2-run single for Hayden Roberge makes it 3-0 Post. So now runners on first and second with 1 away. And that brings up Jalen Kelly. Another first pitch swing. He fouls it back 0-1. The Eagles taking confident swings here in the early going. And they're getting rewarded for it. Borgman trying to collect himself. 0-2 delivery, here it comes. Little blooper down the left field line. Just a little foul. Borgman's fastballs have been leaking over the heart of the plate. The first one that was located in a desirable spot. The 0-2. Kelly, a .333 hitter this year with a homer and 11 RBIs. Down in the count, 1-2. Little Nubber in front of home plate. Classy lets Borgman field it, and he fires over to first just in time for the second out. Good job by Borgman to call off Classy, but the runners move up into scoring position, second and third now with 2 away. So it almost works as well as a sac bunt in that situation, and that brings up Harvey Valera. Valera playing right field today. Hits a number behind home plate, 0-1. Fastball yanked up and away, 1-1. An RBI single for Rene Vega and a 2 RBI single for Hayden Roberge. That's how Post leads 3-0. Skied in the air down the right field line. Grigo ranging over in fair ground, and he makes the catch to end the frame. But Post puts up a 3 spot here in the bottom of the first. They do it with 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We've played 1. Your Eagles lead 3-0. Trago from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, 1 home run, 2 RBIs this year. Smacks one up the middle and through for a base hit. Seaman had to duck out of the way of that one. So a frozen rope single, and that keeps the inning alive for Wilmington. Garrett Quinn now the next hitter for Wilmington. Runner on first, 2 away. Nice block there by Classy. Runner going. Pitch is low, throw to second, not in time. Swiped bag there for Trago. So Wilmington with another runner in scoring position. The 2-0. 3-0. Quinn, a sports management major from Newcastle, Delaware. No home runs, 6 RBIs on the year. Takes that one for a strike, 3-1. The throw over to third, and it's not in time. Trago just took off, and Seaman stepped off the mound, tried to throw him out, but Trago sliding in safely. So he gets to third now, 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the afternoon for Wilmington. Still a 3-1 count. Curveball yanked outside, ball 4. So Trago showing off the wheels. And Quinn draws a walk to bring up the 9-hole hitter here for Wilmington. Bounce in the dirt. Both runners stay put. The 1-0. Seaman steps off the mound, throws it over to first. Here's the 1-0. Runner going. Pitch is a strike. The throw spiked over to second, and Trago just trots home easily. The Eagles coaching staff saying Perez, he shouldn't have thrown that. It was spiked in the dirt, and Trago got home easily. So now Nick Classy has an opportunity to drive in the second run of the game. 1-1 bounced in the dirt again. Runner going to third, and there will be no play. Quinn slides in safely. So base running has helped Wilmington get a little momentum back in this one. And that was a good block, too, by Perez. Just couldn't gather it. That one's a little blooper over the pitcher's mound. And it drops in. Seaman can't make the catch. It's an infield base hit into the infield Bermuda Triangle. And it's 3-2 now, Post leads. So Classy gets an old-fashioned RBI. That one is roped into right field. But over there to make the catch is Valera. And that ends the inning. That was one of the few balls that left the infield in that inning. But still Wilmington scratches across 2 runs with a lot of good base running as we go to the bottom of the second. Post still with a 3-2 lead. The Wildcats plate 2 in the top of the second, so they're down 3-2 now. Post a great bottom of the first offensively. They'll look to keep those good times rolling. It'll be Eric Perez to lead things off in the 9-hole, and then back to the top of the lineup with Jesse Alfala and Rene Vega. Borgman leaves that one up and inside 1-0. Perez hitting .241 home run and 13 RBIs. Now way ahead in the count. That one drilled high in the air, deep left field. Trago racing back now, backpedaling in front of the warning track and makes the catch for out number 1. Perez put a charge into that one, but Trago ran it down. Maybe in a month or so that carries a little more and gets out of here. But today, mid-40s. Typical April weather. So back to the top of the order we go with Jesse Alfala. One hopper, and it eats up the first baseman in Fleming. It's a base hit for Alfala. First pitch swinging once again. The first time he got a triple. This time he'll settle for a first base. Little single there. So a friendly hop. Runner on first and 1 away here for Rene Vega. RBI base knock in his last plate appearance. Umpire resetting the pitcher's clock. Again, at this level, it's 20 seconds that you have to get the ball to home plate. Another hardline drive, and it's past the diving shortstop. Quinn knocked it down just enough. But it's a base hit. Runners on first and second with 1 away. and the top of the lineup continues to mash Borgman in the early going. Here's Damaris Rodriguez. Trying to send that one way over the wall, but sends it backwards. Foul ball, so it's 0-1. Good leave, so it's 1-1. Post already with 6 hits in this one. And there's hit number 7, base hit into right field. Here comes the runner around third. The throw is up the line, and Post takes a 4-2 lead on an RBI base knock for Damaris Rodriguez. The second time Alfala scores today, and the Eagles are doubling up the Wildcats. It's 4-2. And that'll bring up Justin Rivera. Heater splits the plate 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Now it's 1-1. So Rodriguez now with 19 RBIs on the year after sneaking that ground ball through the right side of the infield. And that one popped up. First base side, Fleming. 2 gone. So Velasco now up for the Eagles. He struck out in the first inning. Now up with 2 ducks on the pond. Now a 1-1 count here on Velasco. The 1-1 offering. That one belted into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to one-hop up against the wall. That's going to drive in both runs. Velasco going for 3, and he'll get there safely. Tongue out like he's Jordan. A 2-run triple makes it 6-2 Post. Velasco drove in both runs in Game 2 of yesterday's 13-2 loss against Southern Connecticut State. He's got 2 more RBIs on that big swing, and that'll end Borgman's afternoon. So Borgman is done. He gives up 6 runs on those 8 hits. We'll see who comes in for the Wildcats in just a moment. John Klepacki now in for the Wildcats after a short outing for Scott Borgman. The Eagles got 6 runs on 8 hits against him, and Klepacki, standing at 6'6", will try and stop the bleeding. He's pitched 3 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs on 4 hits. Roberge had a 2-run single back in the first. He'll try and get some more RBIs on this opportunity here. Curveball floats in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. 1-1. It's been a hit parade so far for the Eagles. 6 runs on the board and still going strong. That one way outside. It goes to the backstop, and there's run number 7. Velasco scampers home to give the Eagles a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the second. Two-one count here on Roberge. Fastball low and inside, 3-1. The 3-1 offering. Popped up first base side. That'll carry out of play, so the count runs full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 away in the bottom of the second. Post leads 7-2. Klepacki deals. On the ground to third. Diaz flicks it over to first in time, and that ends the frame. But Post, after a 3-run first, puts up 4 more in the second. The big blow, a 2-run triple for Isaiah Velasco. So Post leads 7-2 as we go to the top of the third. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut. A call to the bullpen for the Eagles here in the top of the third. It's Jake Ballman, the sophomore right-hander. In 2024, Ballman had 8 appearances and went 1-1 in 9 1/3 innings. He's made 5 appearances so far this year. So he'll come in with a runner on first and still nobody out. Facing off against Jose Armando Diaz. Hard ground ball off of Ballman, and it deflects out into shallow left field. That's going to allow Fleming to go from first to third. Ballman looks to be okay, but a hard ground ball that hits him on the back and redirects out into shallow left. So a lucky break for the Wildcats, and they're still in business. 4 straight hits to start the top of the third. Ballman deals. Another one right off Ballman. Collects himself, throws to first. This time he gets the out. The stick-to-itiveness for Ballman to get the out at first on a low line drive up the middle, but a run scores to make it 7-5 now. You can't make that up. 2 straight pitches. 2 screamers right at Ballman, and he shakes him off like it's nothing. A well-earned out there for the Eagles. Now a runner in scoring position for Wilmington. First pitch. Fastball low and away, 1-0. And that was Corey Pritchard, a pinch hitter that hit that comebacker and was retired on a great defensive play by Ballman. Wave and a miss. 1-1. Cam Trago, count even at once. He waves and misses once again. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Runner on second here in the top of the third. Ballman steps off. Eagles lead 7-5. 3 runs already in the inning for Wilmington. On 2 straight pitches, Ballman was hit with screamers, and he got an out on one of them. The 1-2. Line drive, base hit down the right field line. Diaz rounding third. Here's the throw, it's cut off, and there's an RBI single for Cam Trago to make it 7-6 now. Wilmington was down by 5 going into the frame, and now this is a ball game once again. So Trago 2 for 2 with 2 base knocks. Here's Garrett Quinn. The One Oak raises the outer half 1-1. Both teams coming out with the mindset of attack, attack, attack early in the count. Whenever they get that first cookie, they've been swinging and they haven't missed very often. The 1-1 to Quinn. Runner going. Little blooper down the right field line. It drops foul. Little hit and run action, so it's 1-2. Still only one out. As the Wildcats, in the blink of an eye, only down one. Bauman deals. Hard ground ball. Knocked down over at second. The throw to first is dropped. Trago going to third, and he slides in safely. Heads up base running there by Trago. And now runners on the corners with one away. As Garrett Quinn reaches, Vega laying out and knocking it down, but unable to get the out at first. So Classy squares the bunt, but it goes back to the back screen. So 0-1 after that foul ball. So Quinn reaches. And as of now, it stands as a hit. The 0-1. Sprayed foul down the left field line, 1-1. Tying run over at third, go-ahead run over at first. A little insurance up at the plate here in Nick Classy. Oh, 2. Bauman checks the runner over at first. Quinn created havoc with his wheels back in the second. Looking to do the same here. 0-2 bounced over to third. Rivera gets them in a rundown. Great decision there to duke out Trago. Did they tag him? Yes, they did. So a heads-up play there by Rivera to juke out Trago, who was really looking to try and tie this game. And now Quinn, he goes to third, and Classy moves up to second on the play, but no run crosses home, so it's still a 7-6 game with 2 away. And it brings us back to the top of the order here in Brandon Grigo. He's taken 2 pretty good swings so far, nothing to result from so far. Leaves that one way outside, 1-0. Long pause for Bauman, and he finally steps off. So a 2-0 count. The pitch to Grigo, bounce in the dirt, great block. So now it's 3-0. The 3-0. Ball 4. So Grigo walks. He reaches for the first time, and the bases are loaded. Zach Frame started this rally. And he's getting his second AB of the inning. Started with a single to right. And will look to put an exclamation point on this 5-run frame. Excuse me, 4-run frame, as that's a strike right down the middle, 0-1. The 0-1. 1-1. High pop-up. Shallow left center. Velasco underneath it, and he plucks it from the sky. And Post gets that big out to still have the lead. Wilmington chips away, though. They get 4 runs. So now the deficit is 1 for the Wildcats as we go to the bottom of the third. Klepacki back out there for the Wildcats as we go to the bottom of the third. It's a 7-6 ball game. A seesaw affair to start. And Jalen Kelly, the DH, will lead things off for Post. First pitch. Outside, 1-0. Kelly hit a slow ground ball back to the pitcher in his first at bat. Leaves that one for the Birds, 2-0. Off the end of the bat, fouls it back, so it's 2-1. Post took a 3-0 lead after 1. Wilmington answered with 2. Post coming back with 4 in the bottom of the second. Wilmington responding with a 4 mark in the top of the third. And that's where we stand, and the 3-1 count is now here on Kelly. Chopper foul down the third base line, so the count runs full. The payoff pitch. Way outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk here for Kelly. That brings up Harvey Valera. He takes that one, so the count's 0-1. Valera, the junior outfielder from the Dominican Republic. The 0-1. Gets it in there for a strike once again, so it's 0-2. That time with the heater. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Yanked foul down the third base line. Ball is taken off on the grass. Here on the ground. A lot of base hits that have snuck through holes. The 0-2. Klepacki checks on Kelly over at first. Misfiring with the curveball, 1-2. Another pickoff attempt here for Klepacki. And Valera continues to wait patiently in the right-handed batter's box. But he comes up empty on that hack. Strike 3, 1 away. That'll bring up Eric Perez. Put a charge into one. Back in the second. Lifted it just in front of the warning track and was retired. And he gets plunked on that curveball. So the off-speed pitch getting away from Klepacki. And now runners on first and second with 1 away. First hit batsman on either side today. And now it's back to the top of the order with Jesse Alfala. First time he doesn't swing at the first pitch. It's because it's up and away, 1-0. Two on, 1 away. 7-6 post. Fastball up and away, 2-0. That wasn't Alfala's cookie, so he takes it, so it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball dots the outside corner, 2-2. Alfala, a triple, a single, and 2 runs scored already. but waves and misses. Comes up empty on the survivor hack, so it's 2 and away. Two gone after that big K for Klepacki. That brings up Renee Vega. Yanks a fastball in there for a strike. 0-1. Vega also 2 for 2 in this one. An RBI to his name on 2 singles. Leaves that one for the Worms. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The off speed has been working in this third inning for Klepacki. Looking to strand 2 runners here. The 1-2. On the outside corner, strike 3. Klepacki strikes out the side, and Post leaves 2 runners on base. It's the first 0 thrown up by the Wildcats pitching staff. Will go to the top of the 4th. They trail 7-6 against your Eagles. Part of the order coming up for Wilmington as we head to the top of the 4th. 7-6 Post leads in a back and forth affair. It'll be Perung, Fleming, and then Jose Armando Diaz. First pitch take for a strike, 0-1. Now 0-2. Bauman way ahead. Perung a double to right. And then a hard ground ball for a double down the left field line. The 0-2 delivery. Wave and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. That's the first K of Bauman's outing, and that brings up Chase Fleming. That one cracked out to center field. Giving chase is Rodriguez. That's over his head. And one hops up against the wall. Fleming digging for two. He gets there easily with a stand-up double. On a line, straight out to center. It's 400 feet out there. And he one-hopped it on a pure line drive. A lot of pop on that swing, and that brings up Jose Armando Diaz. One-zero count here on Diaz. Long pause for Baumann once again, and he steps off. Two-zero count. Tying runner in scoring position. Diaz represents the go-ahead run. Wilmington was down 7-2 at one point. Way inside. Diaz dancing in the left-handed batter's box, so it's 3-0. High fly ball down the left field line. In foul territory, Velasco can't get there, so it's 3-1. A confident 3-0 swing there from Diaz. And it was a good pitch to hit, just barely missed it. Way outside, ball four. So Diaz walks. It's the second time he's reached base. And now runners on first and second with one away. Next up, Corey Pritchard. He was pinch hitting for J.J. Killen back in the third. Line drive, base hit center field. They're waving Fleming around third, and the throw comes in towards second base. This game is tied. And was there interference over at second base? That's the question. As Diaz looked like he might have collided over there with Vega at second. And now the Wildcats want an explanation, but either way, this game is tied on an RBI single for Corey Pritchard. In his first at-bat, hit a line drive off Baumann on the first pitch, and Baumann somehow retired him, ranging towards the first base line, picking up the ball and firing it over the first. That time, a line drive. Clean cut into center field, and we're even at sevens. And now he's calling all the umpires to have a little discussion. They're going to make sure they figure this out. Again, Pritchard with the RBI base hit. But a little collision, it looked like, with Diaz and Vega. And they're giving him third. So the umpire's discretion, their final discretion, was that there was a little contact that impacted Diaz's ability to go first to third. So now he's 90 feet away, Diaz is, from giving the Wildcats a lead. Still only one away with runners on the corners. And now the Eagles, as you can see, wanting an explanation too. Never an easy call to make. It's very subjective. But it looks like this was the right call to make. Definitely some contact made over there at second as Diaz was trying to gain momentum, pushing off the inside corner of the bag. So after that little discussion, both sides clear on what's going on. So Bauman takes a long walk back to the hill. We'll try and wiggle out of this jam. Cam Trago already with an RBI in this one. Nubs it foul down the third base line. So the count's 0-1. Trago 2 for 2 in this one. A push bunt down the third base line. It takes a funny hop. It's a beauty. Diaz slides in easily. 8-7 Wilmington. How about pulling that out of the magic hat? A push bunt out of nowhere down the third base line. And Wilmington takes a 1-run lead. And now runners are on first and second with still one away here for Garrett Quinn. Wave and a miss. 0-1. So an unlucky bounce over there for Rivera to deal with. And now the count's 0-2 here on Garrett Quinn. Nibbling just off the outside corner with that off-speed pitch. So it's 1-2. The 1-2. Line drive. That's going to drop for a base hit out in left center field. 1 run scores. They're waving around the other runner from third. And that will be another run here for Wilmington. A 2-run double for Garrett Quinn. And now it's 10-7 Wilmington. Pritchard and Trago both score on a 2-bagger from Garrett Quinn. He's now 2 for 2 with a walk and those 2 RBIs. Here's Nick Classy. Wilmington now with 10 runs on 13 hits. Little blooper, shallow left center. Ranging over to make the play is Velasco. A wild throw. Good backup over there by Rivera, so there's 2 away. A lot of real estate out there in left center field. So nice range showed off by Velasco. And it's back to the top of the order with Brandon Grigo. Way outside, 1-0. Grigo, he's been quiet in this one. 0 for 2 with a walk. That one lined into left field. And that's going to drop for a base hit. And a run will come in to score. Grigo over to second with an RBI double as he puts his imprints in this game. Just spraying it down the left field line to give the Wildcats an 11-7 lead. Here's Zach Frame. Already his 4th at bat in this one. That one floats in there for a strike, 0-1. So Grigo now with 23 RBIs on the year. That one of the more clutch ones of the season, so the count's 0-2. Oh-2 flutters up and away, 1-2. A 5 spot thus far here in the top of the 4th. Can Frame add on to it? Stays alive. Bauman set. He fires. Swing and a miss. Frame chases the upstairs heat, but not before 5 runs are tallied here by Wilmington. And they do it with everything. A little small ball, spraying it from gap to gap. And now they have 11 runs, leading 11-7 as we go to the bottom of the 4th here at Municipal Stadium. Demarius Rodriguez leading things off in the bottom of the fourth. Wilmington leads 11-7. Klepacki still dealing. Spikes it low 1-0. Rodriguez 1 for 1 with a walk. Lefty on righty match up the pitch. So now it's 2-0 after that really wild pitch. Collects himself and bounces back, so it's 2-1. The 2-1. 2-2. The break-even pitch. So Rodriguez staying alive on a little karate chop swing. Hard ground ball over to short. Fielded cleanly. Quinn over to first in time. One gone. So Rodriguez retired for the first time, and that brings up Justin Rivera. Takes one right down the middle for a strike 0-1. Rivera singled to center in the first and popped up to first in the second. Golfs that one foul down the left field line, 1-1. Or excuse me, 0-2. Klepacki deals. Swing and a miss. The throw to first is in time, so there's two away. Rivera coming up empty on the dumpster dive, and that brings up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco 1 for 2. He tripled in his last at bat in the second. Strike on the outside corner. Klepacki has silenced these Eagles bats since he took over for Borgman. High fly ball down the left field line, ranging over his Trago, and he makes the running catch to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning. Haven't said that much so far, but Klepacki has really done a good job of keeping this game under control. We're through 4. The Wildcats lead 11-7. Tyler Perung to jumpstart the top of the fifth. Almost halfway through at Municipal Stadium, the Wildcats with an 11-7 lead. First pitch swinging, bounding ball over to short. Backhanded by Alfala. The throw to first is not in time. So Perung legs that out for an infield base hit to start here in the top of the fifth. Placed perfectly in that shortstop third base hole. Alfala tried to make a strong throw, but just not in time. That brings up Chase Fleming. Strike right down the middle, 0-1. Fleming with an absolute frozen rope that one-hopped the center field wall in his last at-bat. Bauman checks over at first. The Wildcats cleanup hitter, 2 for 3 in this one. Big lead by Perung over at first. Bauman couldn't catch up in time and try and throw it over. Now Rivera creeping in after Fleming squared. He squares again. Lays it down. It's a beauty up the first base line. The flip to first in time. But the sacrifice is successful. Perung over to second. Interesting move there with Fleming swinging the bat really well today. A couple allowed hits in this one. And Fleming with the sacrifice bunt, So that brings up Jose Armando Diaz. Line drive, base hit right field. Perung being waved around third. He'll score easily. It's an RBI base knock for Jose Armando Diaz. He's got a 3-hit afternoon. And now it's 12-7 Wilmington. So the sac bunt pays off. And it plates the 12th run of the afternoon for the Wildcats. And that might be it for Bauman. And it is. They take the ball from the right-hander. A pitching change when we come back here at Municipal Stadium. An interdivisional matchup here between Post and Wilmington. The Wildcats lead the Post Eagles 12-7. Robbie Johnson here with the play-by-play commentary. Really appreciate you for tuning into this one. A call to the bullpen once again for Post, and it's Zion Frazier coming in to try and clean up this mess. 3-0 with a 4.91 ERA in 2025. So far, so good with a first pitch strike to Corey Pritchard. Another bender, and it's in there, so it's 0-2. Pritchard, 2 great at-bats after pinch hitting for J.J. Killen. Leaves that one outside to stay alive, so it's 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. This could be 2. Bobbled. Rivera will just get the out at first, but he can't even get that. A strong throw across the diamond after a little bobble, but Pritchard reaches safely. And they'll give that an E5. So runners on first and second with 1 away here for Cam Trago. Bounce in the dirt low. Big lead. The throw over to second, and it hops into center field. Diaz chugging for third. Both runners moving up, and they both are safe. So Diaz, as he was taking his secondary lead, lost his footing. And that's why Perez tried to backpick him, but the throw bounced into center. And now 2 runners are in scoring position here for the Wildcats. Clean baseball up until the last couple plays. So 2 errors now for the Eagles. Cracked way foul down the right field line. Two-one count here on Trago. Excuse me, now it's 3-1. High fly ball center field. This should get a job done. Rodriguez ranging back. He makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Diaz. And moving up to third is Corey Pritchard. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Cam Trago to make it 13-7 Wilmington. Two gone. Here's Garrett Quinn. Upstairs 1-0. Quinn with a 2-run double in his last at bat. That one scrapes the outside corner. 1-1. The 1-1 offering. Popped up first base side. Roberge runs out of room. 1-2 count, 2 away. Wilmington has ballooned the lead to 6. Doesn't bite after that one, so the count even at 2s. After a scoreless first, it's been 2 runs in the second, 4 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and 2 here in the fifth. And now, add another one. Little blooper into right field for a base hit. Another run scores. So 14-7 after the RBI base knock for Garrett Quinn. Nick Classy up, runner going, but grounded foul. Still a lot of baseball left to be played. Almost halfway through. And already 21 runs combined. One count here on Nick Classy. Zion Frazier, a long pause before throwing it over to first. Deals outside, so it's 2-1. The 2-1. The throw over to first, and it's there. They got him. Perez with the back pick. This time it's successful. So they catch Garrett Quinn napping to end the top of the fifth. But not before 3 runs are scored by the Wildcats. They now lead 14-7, exactly halfway through here at Municipal Stadium. A chilly spring afternoon at Municipal Stadium. Post hosting Wilmington in Game 1 of a doubleheader. They're down 14-7 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Hayden Roberge to lead things off, followed by Jalen Kelly and Harvey Valera. Steamer right in there for a strike 0-1. Roberge with a big 2-run single back in the first, and he grounded out to third in the second. On the ground to second, Perung. 1 down. Next up, Jalen Kelly. Kelly 0 for 1 with a walk. The 1-0. 2-0. Now it's 3-0. The Wildcats down 7-2 and have scored 12 runs unanswered and are continuing to get a great outing here by Klepacki. But a 4-pitch walk issued there to Jalen Kelly. Now a runner on first with 1 away. Klepacki yet to give up a hit so far in this outing, despite a couple walks and a hit by pitch. And there's the announcer's jinx. Base hit down the left field line. Kelly stumbles around second. He falls, so he can only stay there. But a base hit there for Harvey Valera puts runners on first and second with 1 away. Not going to say that was intentional, but Valera doing a good job of keeping the train moving. Eric Perez takes it outside 1-0. Spins it in there for a strike 1-1. The 1-1. Clips the outside corner 1-2. Perez a tough day behind the plate defensively, looking to pick up his team with the stick. Here's the pitch. Leaves it upstairs 2-2. Flew out to left back in the second. He was hit by a pitch in the third. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. 2 away. That's 5 Ks for Klepacki since coming in for Borgman. Now it's back to the top of the order with Jesse Alfala. Leaves that one above the letters 1-0. Alfala 2 for 3 in this one. A triple, a single, and then struck out swinging in his last at bat. Pops it up, but that carries out of play, so it's 1-1. Misfiring on the off-speed pitch, so it's 2-1. That one clips the inside corner. Alfala not too happy with it, but the count's even at 2s. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled back to the back screen. We'll do it again at 2s. Again, Wilmington 16-11 on the year. Third place in the South Division of the CACC at 8-4. Here's the pitch. Popped up once again out of play. So this would be a statement win for them if they can continue to get a good outing out of Klepacki and maybe tack on some more runs. 2-2 pitch on the horizon. Here it comes. Just outside, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. A great at bat there for Alfala, and now the bases are juiced. The biggest at bat of the game for the Eagles loading. And it's Rene Vega who will try and help this team chip away at the deficit. Swatted over to third, and it eats up Diaz. Everybody's safe, and a run scores to make it 14-8 Wilmington. The Hops have not been too kind over at third. And because of that, Post gets a run. Their first one since the second inning. And now a little conference at the pitching mound. That'll go as an E5. So Kelly scores on that play too. That's the first time he's scored in this one. The story of the year for Post has been coming back from starting the year 0-7. Since then, they're 14-2. They've been playing their best baseball. It's been incredible to watch them, especially in these types of games, getting out early. So this one is far from over. Another pitching change being made by Wilmington. We'll tell you who it is when we come back. Zach Zarnecki now on the hill for Wilmington, coming in with the bases loaded and 2 gone. First pitch is up and inside, 1-0. Demarius Rodriguez up in the biggest at-bat of this season. And that's up and away, 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Zarnecki trying to slow down now. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Rodriguez thought it might have been a strike, but he gets the call, of 4-pitch walk in an RBI to make it 14-9. So Justin Rivera will step up to the plate. The first pitch to him. Chopped over to third. Backhanded by Diaz. The long throw to first, and it's up the line. A run scores. It's an infield base hit for Justin Rivera to make it 14-10. And it looked like he was a little ginger, like walking gingerly back up the first base line. He pulled up a little bit, but brings up the thumbs up towards the dugout. So he appears to be okay. And they're going to change that to an error. So Diaz with the throwing error up the line. And that makes it 14-10. So the Eagles slowly creeping back into this one, moving station to station. Rivera okay. Here's Isaiah Velasco. That one clips the inside corner, 0-1. The 0-1. Scrapes the outer half, nothing in 2. Tying run up at the plate, and Isaiah Velasco already tripled in this game. Can he make more noise in this spot? Long pause for Zarnecki, the 0-2. Outside, 1-2. The 1-2. Big swing, fouled back. Still 1-2. The 1-2. Hard ground ball over to first. Blocked by Fleming. He'll take it himself and just beat Velasco to the first base bag. So a chance to do some damage, and the Eagles still tack 3 runs on the scoreboard. It's 14-10 now. Wilmington leads as we go to the 6th. So Nick Classy will step back up to the plate after his teammate and Garrett Quinn was picked off at first. That ended the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and away, 1-0. Classy 1 for 3 in this one. It'll be him followed by the top of the order in Brandon Grigo and Zach Frame. The 1-1. Leaves that one outside, 2-1. That one fouled away, so it's 2-2. In there, strike three. Knees buckled for the first out. That brings up Grigo. Chopper right side of the infield, and it just sneaks through for a base hit. Vega with the diving attempt, and he just missed it, so it's a one-out base knock for Brandon Grigo. After going hitless in his first three at-bats, Grigo, now with two straight base hits, he's 2 for 4. That one skied in the air, shallow left. Coming on is Velasco, and he can't get there. It drops for a base hit. And the runners move up, so runners on first and second after a little bloop base hit for Zach Frame. Placed perfectly. And now Tyler Perung will step up to the plate. He's 3 for 4. 2 doubles and a single. Frazier spikes it low and away. 1-0. The 1-0. Did it hit him? Yes, it did. And that might have came out and hit Perez too, as he's down in pain. Still hunched over. After that hit by pitch, the bases are loaded. Now trying to get up. Pretty good idea of what happened there. Not always easy putting on the tools of ignorance with situations like that. But Perez is a trooper. Just trying to shake it off as the bases are now loaded once again for Wilmington. It's a 14-10 game. Both teams have been trading blows. And now you got the perfect guy up in this spot for Chase Fleming. An opportunity to open the gasket and blow this baby open. One and 0 count. Ground ball, and that will get through for a base hit. 1 run scores, and it gets by Velasco out in left field. 2-run score, and that's going to empty the bases. A base hit through the left side of the infield. The ball squeaks by Velasco. 3-run score, and just like that, the Wildcats lead 17-10. Still only 1 out. And that'll bring up, it looks like a pinch hitter. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Xavier Cortez is the man up at the plate now for the Wildcats. The New Jersey native. Runner going for third. Here's the throw, and he's a dead duck. Out by a mile, Perez guns down the runner, so there's 2 away. A 1-1 count here on Cortez. Chopper over to third, Rivera. That throw off the bag, and Cortez is safe. It'll go as another E5, as Rivera cannot complete the play. Perung gets 2 RBIs on that base hit, and the 3rd run scored is the resulting fact of an E7. Runner going, fouled away, so the count's 0-1. You're on Corey Pritchard. The 0-1. Bounced in the dirt, 1-1. Runner going again, but it's fouled off, so the count's 1-2. So Fleming with the 2 RBI single and the 3rd run scoring on an E7. That's why Wilmington now up 17-10. The 1-2. High and inside, 2-2. Wave and a miss. Perez collects himself, darts it over to first, and that'll end the frame, but not before Wilmington capitalizes on a few blunders. And it was one play specifically that came back to bite the Eagles. A 2-run single, and adding on to it, it went under Velasco's glove as the ball was bouncing out in left field, so it cleared the bases to give Wilmington that 7-run lead. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Hayden Roberge to start things in the bottom of the 6th. Back to a 7-run lead for Wilmington. Here's the pitch. Zarnecki deals outside. 1-0. Roberge is 1 for 3 in this ballgame. Singled to right, grounded out to third, and grounded out to second. High pop-up first base side. And it stays in the ballpark, and the catch is made for the first out. So Chase Fleming feeling the netting, and the wind just brought that baby back for out number 1. So that's an F3 in your scorecard. Here's Jalen Kelly. Mile high pop-up. Who's going to grab it? And it's dropped over at second by Perung. So Kelly reaches, but he wasn't busting it out of the box, and because of that, he'll stay at first base. That thing was up there for a really, really long time. All the infielders converging right in front of the second base bag, but it was Perung who couldn't snatch it out of thin air. So that'll be an E4. If you're just joining us, you have missed a lot. We've seen just about everything in this game. 27 runs on 29 hits. And we're just a little over halfway through this game. And it's Harvey Valera now stepping up to the plate. Leaves that one inside. 1-0. That one floats upstairs, so it's 2-0. Valera also 1 for 3 in this game. Dots the inside corner, 2-1. Cortez playing deep in that shortstop hole. Swing and a miss, 2-2. The 2-2 delivery. Hard ground ball to second. This could be 2. The flip to second for 1. On to first. That's a 4-6-3 twin killer. So the Wildcats turn that double play to end the frame. We're through 6 at Municipal Stadium. Wilmington 17, Post 10. The 1-2. Just missing inside. Count now even. Wind blowing left to right, and it's had an impact on the last couple innings. Inside there, that's strike 3. So Quinn down looking for out number 2. That'll bring up Nick Classy. Big shift for him. He rolls it over softly, foul down the first base line. The 0-1 sprayed out towards center, and coming in to make the catch is Rodriguez. So that ends the frame. 1-2-3 inning there for Post. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Let's stretch here at Municipal Stadium. Wilmington leads 17-10. Nine 1-2 hitters upcoming here in the bottom of the 7th. Wilmington with a commanding 17-10 lead. Zarnecki still hurling. He tugs that one outside 1-0. That one yanked down the left field line. It drops in for a base hit. Perez, a big turnaround first. He'll stay there with a leadoff single. Perez, he's been taking some pretty good swings today and finally gets rewarded. So Jesse Alfala now steps up at the top of the order. 2 for 3 with a walk. In there for a strike, 0-1. Alfala tripled on the first pitch he saw of the day, then singled, struck out, and walked. Hard over to short on one hop. The throw to second for one. On to first. In time. We're a 6-4-3 double play. Unlucky there for Alfala, who hit it on the nose, but it was right to the shortstop, and Quinn turned that double play with Perun. Rene Vega on the ground over to third. The throw across the diamond in time. That ends the inning. So the Wildcats face the minimum here in the bottom of the 7th. Let's go to the 8th. They still lead 17-10. Back to the top of the order for the 6th time. In this one for Wilmington, Brendan Grigo pops it up down the left field line. That'll drop foul. It's 17-10 Wilmington, and Frazier's still dealing for post. Has done a good job of eating some innings up for the Eagles bullpen. That one gets away from him, so it's 1-1. Grigo 2 for 4 with a walk. Most recently singling back in the top of the 6th. Two and two. Now the count runs full. That payoff pitch is yanked down the right field line, and it's fair. And it gets to the wall in a hurry. Grigo showing off the wheels, but he'll stop at second with a leadoff two-bagger. That one absolutely crushed. So Grigo with a 3-hit day. And now a pinch hitter is coming up for Wilmington. It's Sean Edvain. Leaves that inside on the first pitch he sees. That one off the plate looked pretty good, but it's 2-0. The 2-0. Foul tipped, 2-1. Edvain is a senior from Newcastle, Delaware, majoring in sports management. Got jammed, but drops it into right field for a base knock. Grigo puts on the brakes, so runners on the corners here with nobody out. And that brings up Tyler Perung. Perung leaves that upstairs 1-0. The 1-0. Curveball upstairs once again, so it's 2-0. So it's official now. Every single hitter in the lineup for Wilmington has recorded a hit as that one is bounced to short. There's one. And there's two. 6-4-3 double play. So there's two gone. A run does score on the play, however, making it 18-10 Wilmington. Perung will not get an RBI on that one. Here's Chase Fleming. Drops in for a strike 0-1. One and one count. Fleming, a two-hit day for him. That one hits the outside corner, 1-2. Biggest lead of the day here for Wilmington. On the ground to third. The throw in time for Rivera. That ends the frame. Wilmington adds another. We're through 7.5. They lead 18-10. Demarius Rodriguez to kick things off in the home half of the eighth. The Eagles down 18-10 against the Wilmington Wildcats. Robbie Johnson here with the play-by-play commentary. Zarnecki deals, and that one hits Rodriguez. Hits him on the back leg on a curveball. So just like that, leadoff runner on here for the Eagles. Justin Rivera will take his hacks next. Rivera, a 1-for-4 day. Good swing there. but fouls it back, so it's 0-2. The 0-2. Swing and a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. Rivera retired via the K for the second time this afternoon. Isaiah Velasco, who had a big 2-run triple back in the second. It was 6-2 at that point. And things have changed just a little bit since then, with Wilmington fighting through that early adversity and putting up some crooked numbers in those middle innings. Both teams were trying to make a statement here in Game 1 after getting blown out in their last games. As the 2-0 is upstairs. The Wildcats losing 16-2 to Jefferson most recently. And for Post, they split a doubleheader yesterday against Southern Connecticut State, but the second loss being 13-2. That one a strike, and Velasco not happy. So it's a 3-1 count instead of ball 4. The 3-1. 3-2. The payoff pitch. Lifted foul. We'll do it again at 3-2. Some action right now in the Eagles' pen. The 3-2. High drive, deep left center, and that's going to drop for an extra base hit right in front of the warning track. Rodriguez is being waved around. He'll score standing up. It's an RBI double for Isaiah Velasco, and it's 18-11 Wilmington. The second extra base hit for Velasco in this one, and he continues to swing a hot bat. That'll bring up Hayden Roberge. Pickoff attempt. But just getting back was Velasco. A little closer than he might have wanted. That one lifted in the air, deep right center field. And that's a nice running catch out there by Zach Frame, it looks like. So there's 2 away. A terrific running catch to steal an extra base hit. So Roberge is retired for the second out. That brings up Jalen Kelly. 2-0 count here on Kelly. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Now it's 2-1. And the pitch. 3-1. 18 runs, 22 hits, 3 errors for Wilmington. 11 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors for Post. As that one is popped up behind home plate. And it's going to drop right in front of Classy. Those ones never easy, especially because they're always carrying back towards the field. So it's Kelly who has another life here with a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, bottom of the 8th. Runner off second and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, and it's in and out of the glove of Classy. Another 3-2 pitch. And he's hit. The second hit by pitch of the inning. And Kelly wears that easily, so runners on first and second now with 2 away. Now it's Harvey Valera who steps up to the plate. The way this game is going, anything can happen at this point. As Valera leaves that one outside 1-0. Outside 2-0. Both teams continue to fight. The Eagles trying to keep their undefeated record in conference alive. As that one is popped up in the middle of the infield, the catch is made by Quinn. And those chances of staying undefeated are dwindling right now for Post. We're through 8. They tack on a run, but they're still down 18-11 here on their home field. New wing on for the Wildcats, or excuse me, for the Eagles. It's Tim Mingo, the freshman right-hander from Lynbrook, New York. He'll face Xavier Cortez, then Corey Pritchard, and Cam Trago. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. Cortez reached in his first at-bat. It was a single and an E5. Pops that one up foul, so the count's 0-2. That one's spiked, so it's 1-2. Slow roller down the third base line. Rivera charges, throws on the run. In time. Nice play by Rivera for out number 1. Cortez retired. That brings up a pinch hitter here for the Wildcats. It's D'Angelo Ponce, sophomore outfielder from Jersey City. Tugged outside, 1-0. The 1-0. And that got him. So Ponce is hit. Now a runner on first with 1 away. Cam Trago looking to add to his 3-hit day. He's been retired in his last 2 at-bats. The 1-0. Nice block. But Ponce, a great read off first, and he takes second. Runner in scoring position for the Wildcats, looking to add to what is already a great offensive day. 18 on the scoreboard. They lead by 7. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. So Trago is plunked. That's the second hit batsman of the inning. And that sends Ponce back to second. Here's Garrett Quinn. That one spiked in the dirt, 1-0. One of the better times of year with the MLB kicking off last Thursday. A lot of fun things already happening through the first series. And the big topic of discussion is those torpedo bats that a lot of teams are starting to use. The Yankees raked with them this weekend, putting up 36 runs against the Brewers. And then last night, Ellie De La Cruz used it and had 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. There's a line drive into right field, and that'll dunk in for a base hit. Cortez being waved around. He'll score. It's an RBI single for Garrett Quinn, and now it's 19-11 Wilmington. Another pinch hitter, and it's Mason DeLuca. Bounced once again, and now it's a little rundown once again. Both at second, you got to tag somebody. And it's going to be Garrett Quinn, who is tagged out. So that's the second time he's been technically caught stealing today. A few base running blunders for him, but not really mattering at this point. So now 2 away. Good job of Perez there to stick with the play. High fly ball down the right field line. In foul ground, and the catch is made. That ends the inning. Wilmington adds another 3 outs away from a victory here in Game 1. Yoshi Conti looking to close this baby out here in the bottom of the 9th. The Wildcats lead the Eagles 19-11. The southpaw from the windup deals low and inside a 1-0. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. Perez singled in his last at bat. That one smacked out to left center field. And that'll drop for a base hit. And one hops up against the wall. Perez going for 2, and he'll get there. Leadoff double for Eric Perez. And now that brings the total hit tally in this one to 35 combined. Here's Jesse Alfala. It's 30 runs on 35 hits and 6 total errors. The 1-0. 2-0. Alfala 2 for 4. He barreled one up in his last at bat, but it was a one-hopper right to the shortstop. That resulted in a 6-4-3 double play. Takes that one, a delayed strike call, so it's 3-1. The 3-1. 3-2. The payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. Alfala walks for the second time this afternoon. So Rene Vega will step up to the plate. 2 runners on, nobody out. Squares pulls back, takes a strike. Rivera 2 for 5. Another backdoor curve, this one off the plate, 1-1. Doesn't bite at that one. 2-1 count. That one in the dirt, 3-1. And assuming this result holds, Post will look to recharge and come back and try and salvage a split of this doubleheader. Line drive, center field. The catch is made. Both runners stay put. So there's one away. And now Demarius Rodriguez will step up to the plate. Leaves that one for the Worms 1-0. Rodriguez has walked twice. He doubled, and he's been hit by a pitch and grounded out to short. And he's hit one more time. That one looked like it got him on the front ankle. So the bases are now loaded. And that'll be it for Yoshi Conti. Was looking to get 3 quick outs, but the Wildcats will bring in another wing to try and stop this possible run here from Post. Rosenberry will now be pitching for Wilmington from Reading, Pennsylvania. The right-hander coming in to get 2 more outs. And it hasn't been pretty for Wilmington, to say the least. But down 7-2 at one point, and clawed their way back to get 12 unanswered runs. Post made a run for it, just like this. But then Wilmington was able to get a few more insurance runs. So they have a comfortable 8-run lead right now. But again, you got to hold your breath with the way this game is going. So an excellent opportunity for the freshman to get some work. But he'll have to do it against the heart of the Eagles' order. The first hitter, Justin Rivera. He struck out twice today, but also singled. A total line of 1 for 5. The 1-0. Floats inside 2-0. The 2-1 offering. Fouled away, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, bases juice with 1 away. Post down by 8. The pitch. Rivera fights. Another 2-2 pitch. Watch out over there on the first base dugout. Nobody got hit. So we'll do it again here at 2s. Rosenberry working from the windup. He fires. On the ground, down the left field line, it's a fair ball. That'll bring in 2. It's a 2-run single, and just like that, Justin Rivera has helped his team pull within 6. Cortez playing very far off the line. So an average hit ground ball gets there easily into the outfield. So now runners on first and second with 1 away. So Rivera now with a 2-hit game after that. That brings up Isaiah Velasco. Outside, 1-0. Two and 0. The 2-0 to Velasco. On the outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Way outside, 3-2. The Eagles keep rising off the mat to try and fight back into this one. Another runner on would make things really interesting. The 3-2. Outside ball 4. And the bases are loaded once again. Hayden Roberge looking to make this a really interesting game. He has one hit today, 1 for 5, with a 2-ribby single back in the first inning. Does that hit him? Yes, it does. Roberge is plunked. A run scores, so credit Roberge with the RBI. It's 19-14. And the freshman's outing there is done. He comes out. 3 runs plated there for Post when he was in Rosenberry, trotting to the dugout. And the Wildcats will try and end this game once and for all when we come back. Dom Murata looking to close this baby out for the Wilmington Wildcats. The right-hander, no run surrendered thus far. In 2025, he's hurled 11 innings. Looking to come through in the clutch here. He'll face Jalen Kelly to start. Strike clips the outside corner, 0-1. The Wildcats did not want to have to do this, but an important game to close out. Big swing and a miss. 0-2. This is a save situation. Bases loaded, 1 away. The 0-2. Outside 1-2. The 1-2. On the outside corner, strike 3, and the Eagles are down to their final out. And that brings up Harvey Valera. Bender in there for a strike 0-1. Murata, a long pause, and the pitch. And the Eagles are now down to their final strike. Bases loaded, 0-2 count, 2 outs, and the pitch. Valera fouls it back to stay alive. Murata ready. On the ground to third. Weird hop over the throw to second in time. Wilmington gets the force, and that's your ball game. Murata standing on business, and he helps close this game out. Wilmington, in a crazy game 1, takes it 19-14. Like I've said, we saw a little bit of everything in this one. And it was Post who jumped out to an early 7-2 lead. But the Wildcats scoring 12 unanswered runs, and they never looked back. Post tried to make an incredible comeback there at the end, but just falling short. So we're in store. This should be a really fun game, too. It'll happen in about 30 minutes. So Wilmington looking for the sweep, and Post looking to get a split here on their home field. But again, in Game 1, your final score, Wilmington 19, Post 14. This is Robbie Johnson signing off. Stay tuned for Game 2. I'll have the call there once again and give you all the action for another 7-inning game of CACC action.